Welcome to In Transit. Quebec has confirmed a huge investment of more than $1.2 billion over the next 2 years to improve the condition of some 30 major road infrastructures in the greater Montreal area. The $1.2 billion will be invested in repairing aging infrastructure. And boy, does Montreal ever have a lot of aging infrastructure, such as the concrete pavement of Highway 40. With more on this, let's go to CJAD 800's Wall of Fame traffic reporter, Rick Leckner. You're all over the place, Rick. Thanks for coming on to In Transit.
I'm all over the place, but wherever I go, it's slow. No question about it. Good morning, Elias.
Good morning to you. So listen, aging infrastructure, it's clear, we built so much in the 60s during a time of boom, and then we didn't take care of it. Is that part of this headline here, that we're catching up on old debts?
Well, the answer to that is yes. The other answer to that is we didn't really build it properly in the 60s to begin with. It wasn't properly maintained, and my assessment of the current budget is it's really not that much, because I believe the $1.2 billion that they've earmarked includes what I call the big three: the La Fontaine Tunnel, the Ville-Marie and Viger tunnels, and Ile-Ortourt Bridge. So that's all. I mean, those are among the projects listed by Transport Quebec for the next 2 years are those three, and that money has already been earmarked. So I don't think it's as much as they say it is, but, that's just an accounting situation. So in addition to what I call the big three, and the other one that's in there, by the way, is also another one they've introduced and started construction on, which is the interchange in Laval of the 440 and Highway 15, where they had that horrific accident a few Augusts ago, and they've started work on that as well. But some of the others, as you just mentioned, the Trans-Canada, the 40 East, will be rebuilt between Morgan and St. Charles. That's important because that thing is definitely falling apart. But, and then again, this excludes whatever the city of Montreal is going to do.
Okay, yeah, because that's a separate envelope, right? When you talk about the road network, the city roads in Montreal. So let's keep it on the Transport Quebec side just for a moment here. You mentioned how things were built improperly in the 60s, right? So when you look, let's look at the what's happening right now for the La Fontaine Tunnel, let's say. Let's look at what they're proposing for the Metropolitan, that kind of thing. I'll use this term because it's coming from south of the border a lot, build back better, right? So, is this a building back better, or is it just keeping up?
Well, I think we need to build back better, no question. It's really part of the same thing, keeping up with the deterioration over the years, but should the deterioration have been as severe as it was, had it been built properly and had the construction been properly monitored way back then? The other comment I should make is that it's more pressing to see what's not in this envelope, which is there's no mention of the Metropolitan. This has got to be redone one day. You talk about falling apart. In the meantime, we're spending millions. Every time we have to build something, they spend millions to keep it up, like the Turcotte Interchange, like the Champlain Bridge, and now like the Pont Ile-Ortourt. They're spending $350 million to keep that thing up while they earmark the other monies for the construction. So, I mean, our money really... when you pay your tax, it's doubly frustrating. So what's also not there is I don't see any, I seldom see, and I'm sorry, I'm always negative in this way, vision, okay? We've got massive construction of that Royal Mount project at 40 and 15. You can see it clear as day now because those structures are getting higher and higher. It's just huge.
Yeah.
There's nothing that I see or hear being done in terms of traffic mitigation measures in that area.
But Rick, what do you do? I mean, I'm thinking about it. It seems like there's no room. So what would be a traffic mitigation measure?
Well, first of all, why is it being built there? Okay.
Yeah.
Secondly, before they even allowed the zoning, the permits, etc., to begin this thing, they should have come up with a plan to see what can be done. Whether it's, I know I'm thinking way too optimistically here, whether it's a proper train link, a subway link, whatever. But there's nothing There's absolutely nothing that will help take away at least the addition, when I say at least, 25% more in traffic capacity, and that area can't handle what it deals with on a daily basis now.
Yeah, and of course, Cavendish Road isn't going to be extended anytime
Please.
soon here. So, Rick, let me ask you this, right? Because I know you've been speaking about the Guy exit that is going to go under a major work, the Guy exit off of the Ville Marie here. When you look at this summer and the list of projects that came out on the road investments that the Quebec government released here, where are the headache points for our listeners because of that $1.2 billion being spent?
Yeah, good question. Well, downtown for sure, getting off at Guy. I mean, you won't be able to get off at Guy, and as I mentioned with Aaron this morning, getting off at Atwater and Mountain, won't be a picnic. The LaFontaine Tunnel, of course, for people, our friends on the West Island, the combination of work on the Ottawa Bridge and 40 East between Morgan and St. Charles.
Oh, boy.
Invest in a helicopter.
Oh, boy.
Don't forget that 15, Autoroute 13 as well. The Autoroute 13 tunnel, Dorval Circle, these are other areas that will be affected, as will the interchange at Sources and Highway 20. So yes, there's a lot of work going on, and we're accustomed to it. But the good news is, the cones are going to get smaller.
That's right. The cones will not be as invasive. There'll be a lot of them, but they won't be as invasive. I just want to go over that double whammy you just mentioned, right? So Illatord and the 40, that's not fun. That's not fun for the West Island.
No, that's really, really bad. People who I know use that on a regular basis. I mean, they're literally, they must all be bald by now because they're tearing their hair out on an hourly basis.
Rick, thanks very much once again for
coming on. It's always a pleasure speaking about these things, unfortunately.
It is a pleasure, right? Because when I want answers, at least I know I can get at least some of them from you, and sometimes more questions as well. Rick, thanks so much.
Have a pleasant day. Drive safely.
You too. That's Rick Leckner, CJAD 800's Wall of Fame traffic reporter.